Welcome back to another episode of Britt and Nick Do the News. We took yet another break, partially because of the lack of demand, but also I was busy. 2 weeks ago, I attended the American Film Market in Las Vegas, where a bunch of independent filmmakers get together with a bunch of distributors to sign deals so that their titles get distributed to the general audience. I actually work for a movie distributor that is releasing the Steamboat Willie horror knockoff Screamboat. It's supposed to go in theaters the end of January. And Brittany, well, she also works for the same company reviewing our movies. So Brittany, I cannot wait for you to see that one.
Girl, same here. I bet you it'll be a treat.
Oh yeah, they all are, right?
Amen, amen.
All right, let's kick it off with some of the top stories. In more relevant movie news, we got Wicked and Gladiator 2 set to release in the U.S. on Friday, November 22nd. Wicked is the film adaptation of the famous musical first debuted earlier this month in Australia and already has a 96 rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It is projected to be one of the biggest box office hits of 2024, and fans are super excited about this one. So much so that they were considering a sing-along in theaters, but for obvious reasons are probably nixing that idea. There was also a reported issue with the Alphaba and Glenda dolls that Mattel released. Apparently, there was a URL printed on the back that linked consumers to a pornographic site.
Yeah, girl. I guess they meant to put wickedmovie.com, but they ended up just putting wicked.com. And well, on wicked.com, there's a little bit more of the devil's work on there. It's like you said, a porn site. So oopsies, big whoops on them, especially like out of anything you can include it on, children's toys. Like, golly, what a time to biff it, you know?
Biffed it big on that one. Kind of like that Disney move where they put perverted things in the cartoons, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a mistake or if it was a sick joke. Gladiator 2 is also going to be a big one for me. I, to this day, still talk about how Gladiator was my favorite movie of all time, the one with Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix. I've been waiting for a second dose ever since, so I'm glad it's finally come. The sequel is directed by Ridley Scott and stars big names like Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Cutie Paul Mescal, and Connie Nielsen and Derek Jacobi reprised their roles from the first movie. The biggest bit of gossip is that apparently the improv Denzel kissing scene was removed from the final cut of the film. Denzel thought maybe it was because it was too risque, but Ridley Scott says that it actually never happened.
Risque. I like what you did there, girl. But yeah, who knows? I wouldn't have minded to see it in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, let me see. I want to see it. Also, I think it's cool. His last name is Mezcal, just like the barbecue tequila. Like, how do you get a last name like that? I dig it. Are you going to see it? I heard you've been to see it this Friday.
Oh, yes. I'm definitely going to sit in the theater by myself or with anybody who will attend. But yeah, I want to see it on the big screen and enjoy a flick that I've definitely been waiting for a long time. Netflix took on large-scale live streaming this past weekend with the boxing matchup of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. The fight resulted with Mike Tyson taking an L in the ring, but with a $20 million payday for the legend, I hardly call him a loser. The Netflix-hosted event seemed to be somewhat successful in my opinion since the whole platform didn't crash. Only a ton of complaints with viewers experiencing some buffer issues during the main card event. It recently came out that a Florida man has filed a class action lawsuit seeking damages of $50 million for the event. They are claiming that the streaming giant was in breach of a contract over the frequent glitches. Well, of course, it would be someone from Florida because it seems dang crazy.
Oh my gosh, truly. Florida man doing Florida man things. I swear they cannot keep their heads on straight. But I want to know, is it like something he had a separate contract for? Like, who knows? If it's just you viewing at the home, like, why are we going to give you 50 million? We might give you back your monthly subscription amount, but you ain't going to get that much because you couldn't see the fight in real time. That's so crazy.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. Obviously, Netflix didn't count it as a catastrophic fail. They plan to air Christmas Day football live. Beyonce was reported to be performing at the halftime show between the Texans and the Ravens game. Random fact, Yale University is planning on teaching a course on Beyonce and her expansive cultural legacy.
Interessante to say the very least. Well, I guess if Harvard can do the one with Taylor Swift, Beyonce definitely needs her shot too. I'm just wondering, are they going to include the ties to Illuminati in this course, or is that all? I don't know. If they
Or,
do, then I might sign up.
or maybe her many random appearances at the P. Diddy freak off parties.
Oh my God. Real talk, girl.
In other music news, the CMA Awards were on Wednesday at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. It was hosted by Peyton Manning, Luke Bryan, and Lainey Wilson. My man Morgan Wallen won Entertainer of the Year, even though he was nominated for 7 awards, but I guess we'll be happy walking off with that. Chris Stapleton walked away with Male Vocalist of the Year, and his song White Horse won Single and Best Song of the Year. Lainey Wilson won Female Vocalist of the Year, and my girl Megan Maroney won Best New Artist of the Year.
Heck yes. Well, congratulations to all of them. And I didn't personally see it, but I know it was a good time. I know a very, very big fan of Morgan Wallen. She is a mom of 4, and she has been to, I believe, 11 concerts of his this year. That's right, 2024, 11 concerts. I believe somewhere in Nashville, somewhere in Knoxville, somewhere in Charlotte, Virginia Beach. I don't even know all the spots, but she hit it up. And not only that, she was able to go to the CMA Awards herself. That's pretty insane. Good for her. I mean, she's really doing it up. And she even went to this bar and met up with some of his band. Shout out to her. Go, Jenny.
Wow, that girl gets around. I thought I was a little excessive with the vacations, taking 1 per month, but she was single-handedly going to 11 of Morgan Wallen's concerts. Whew. That was a hit to the bank account for sure. Those tickets were so pricey. I went and saw him in Philly, and I was up in the rafters for $75. So imagine to be right by the stage. Like, that would have definitely pinched my pocket. Let's take a hot second to cover some political news. The Pentagon failed its 7th audit, unable to account for the $824 billion. But they don't know where it went. But Brittany, I think you might have a couple of ideas.
I sure do, Nick. And facts being facts, they know where it went. They just didn't want to tell us. The taxpayers' dollars have went to a few odd spots. One place is for drag shows in Ecuador. Apparently, the U.S. Embassy and the cohort consulate in Ecuador, they got a $20K grant to see dudes in dresses dance. Well, I don't know if that's the best way to spend money, but it's better because at least they're humans. They also spent money on Asian pigeons and to find out after they did cocaine if they became hornier or not. Well, I'm sure they did, but do we really need to find out about birds on booger sugar? Nose beers? Rather, beak beers? What's less funny is trying to figure out if in Ghana, seatbelts are necessary. And of course, helmets when riding motorbikes. Well, I don't know if we really need research on that. I think we all know that it's better to wear seatbelts and to wear a helmet when riding on any sort of motorcycle. Shout out Volvo.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to distract from us talking about where that $824 billion went, because it came out this week that they reported that a commercial airline nearly missed a UFO off the New York coast. Now, I'm afraid of flying commercial in general just because planes and crashing, but now we got to worry about dodging UFOs in the sky. Brittany, you're not afraid of flying, but you're more scared of that TSA.
Nick, you said it. I cannot stand TSA. I know they have a job to do. I'm never going to get in their way. In fact, I mainly try to get out of their way. And people go, why don't you do the pre-check? Bro, it doesn't matter a hill worth the crap because I don't fly enough for that to matter. And also, I just don't think it's worth it. They still gonna, touch on some of your stuff, and they still will throw out your Paul Mitchell if you take too much on your carry-on. They don't give a fig. Not just the TSA. How about they make you take off your shoes, walk around on that dirty floor? Like, I'm about to use a duplicate pair of socks so I could just throw them in the trash. Get some ones I had from when I was out hospital stay. You know, the grippers. I don't need those. Cinnabon too. Why are they making us spend $15 on one bun? Get out of here. Hudson News. I love a Hudson, but the news ain't it. $12 for a magazine. GTFO.
Yeah, you're double bagging your dogs while I'm here raw dogging it in that piece every time with flip flops. So obviously it doesn't bother me too much. Unless you're living under a rock, which I'm sure a bunch of you would rather, Trump will now be our president. A lot of you are upset and even considering leaving the country. We have Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi peacing out and now residing in the UK. There is also a cruise line that reportedly is offering an option of a 4-year cruise where you can board at multiple stops and it will cost $40,000 a year.
Sheesh. Wow, they coming out with some options. Honestly, the cruise sounds like a great time. If I had 40K to toss at it, I would totally go hit the waves. But I don't, so here I'll stay. As for Ellen and Portia, fairly confident it came out that they're pretty rotten people. So bye-bye, boo.
This week, Trump most recently started appointing his cabinet. It seems like a season of the surreal life where reality stars are recast in a new light. We got Dr. Oz, who was picked to lead Medicare and Medicaid services, Robert F. Kennedy for Health and Human Services Secretary, Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary. He was a Fox News host and a decorated veteran. Then we got Sean Duffy, who was on The Real World back in the day and is a Fox Business host. He's going to be running the transportation department. Linda McMahon, you know, from the WWE, she's being picked for education secretary. And then we got Matt Gaetz for attorney general. Some of his prospects are getting passed over when it comes to FBI background checks. Obviously, Matt Gaetz is on the list with his accusations of paying a 17-year-old for sex. But don't worry, folks, he's turning down the job.
Wow. I wish the rest of this clown crew would turn down the jobs too. My gosh. It's intense, y'all. And like you said, surreal world indeed. Dr. Oz, apparently, he says uninsured Americans have no right to health in a resurfaced clip. So yeah, if that's the person in charge of Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, well, oopsies. Doesn't sound like greatest person for the job. As for the gal from Connecticut trying to do the stuff with education, I can't speak much on her, but I haven't heard the best of things. I'd rather just see them on another reality TV show. That's where they belong. Trump, if you want them people there, do it on The Apprentice. Why not? Bring Omarosa and crew along as well. New York, bring her.
I do love New York.
Same.
Besides the transition inside the office, businesses are planning ahead for that tariff tax. We have Steve Madden, who's planning on reducing imports from China by 45%, and a big giant Walmart is saying that prices will rise.
Yeah, that's not surprising, Nicole. Honestly, prices have been rising for who knows how long. And yeah, the cheaper stuff is from outside of the country. So, of course, they're going to increase costs to us. That's how they make their money. And they going to get more and more money off of us until we stop buying their stuff. When we say no to Amazon, when we say no to Walmart, and we buy local, buy from the homestead.
Yeah, I don't think people are buying local at all. They love that Temu. They love that Shein. They love all that stuff that cost a nickel when it comes from China. I'm hoping the one thing that Trump can manage is foreign affairs. Putin was threatening nuclear retaliation after Ukraine was given the go-ahead to launch U.S. long-range missiles into Russia for the first time, as well as anti-personnel landmines. Israel's prime minister is happy that Trump's in office and is giving him a proposed ceasefire with Lebanon. I'm really hoping that this is the start of the gift that keeps on giving in that department. It can't be any worse than Biden introducing Ukraine's president as Putin.
This stuff gets weirder and weirder, I swear. It's like a whole comedy routine. And honestly, it wouldn't matter if it was Trump or Harris. They're all going to bring in their cast of characters because, I feel like we're in a giant reality TV. It's almost like, what do they call that? The Truman Show? Like they're just filming us looking at our reactions and having us look out in horror, being like, no, please, it's a joke, right? Please.
Yeah, it's a nightmare we're not waking up from, that's for sure. Not for the next 4 years, I guess. Biden reportedly is not saving his son Hunter with a pardon. Hunter, who was convicted of lying about drug use when applying for a gun, will most likely serve his time. Meanwhile, Trump is going to throw a lifesaver to our dear friend TikTok. Earlier this year, they were trying to ban the app, but I guess Trump's going to end that.
Well, we know why he's trying to end it, because he's in bed with China just like Biden was. But it's a shame because Biden had to get into bed with his wife to create his son, and he won't give him a pass. Interesting.
Very nice, Britt. Other news with this election, California voters said no to raising the minimum wage to $18. So what are your thoughts about that, Brittany?
Well, I'm going to say it was only billionaires and tech gurus that said no to the $18 an hour, because I feel like anyone that's working minimum wage wants the $18 an hour. Now, of course, everyone's going to get taxed, a portion to make that happen, but it'll be minimal for some and maximum for others because, the more you make, the more you get taxed, in theory. And yeah, I think that a lot of people that are working all day, they don't really necessarily have time to go out and vote and say yay or nay. Some people don't even know about these types of issues. So I think it was probably the people that already make a decent amount of guap that didn't want to raise it. And to be honest, I can understand the argument of being like, hey, these are not super important jobs, or these are not jobs that require a whole bunch of education or training. That's okay. But the problem is when you charging people exorbitant amounts for rent, for food, for transportation, that's where the problem comes in. So therein lies the issue with not having it $18 an hour.
Yeah, it's very expensive to live in California, so I can understand the request for the hike in minimum wage. But yeah, it would teeter-totter the scale probably in a not so favorable way for the higher ups, for sure. Let's return to some lighter topics, though. People magazine voted John Krasinski as the sexiest man of the year for 2024. Brittany, do you think they made the right choice, or are you getting hot and heavy for that man?
I love John, but I don't know if you said America's sexiest or world's sexiest?
Oh, I mean, it was just People's Magazine. Like, it's just what they say. It's not like people voted. It's just who they wanted to represent the men of the year.
Understood. Yeah, it's all about who they wanted to feature. He probably got a few new movies coming out. No, I mean, he's definitely attractive for sure. But I don't know about sexiest man of the year. They also had like some weird categories about like sexiest man as a first time father and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't really know what their deal is, but it's obviously something. And shoot, it's getting people to tune in. But I do love John.
Well, at first I thought they elected Benny Blanco. Is that the one? That's the one that's with Selena Gomez right now, right?
Yes, it is indeed. And though I hear he's very sweet and rather talented, that's a no from me, dog. I don't know about sexiest. I think it's one of those things where you got to know him, you got to deal with him. But as just a front-facing value, I'm not giving that sexiest man of the year. No.
Who would you have picked, though?
That's a toughie because there's a lot of attractive people, but they're also weird and caught up in like drama and stuff too. So that automatically kind of makes me feel like you're negative, because I really think Channing Tatum's super attractive. But, all this drama with him and Zoe, it's just kind of like, okay. But then I guess he's having like sort of like a mental breakdown. Not really, but yeah, like in a way of like paparazzi or like social media standards. Like he's posing shirtless and like doing all sorts of stuff like that. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything bad about your Paul Mescal. And he's an
Oh.
attractive guy. So, and also the barbecue tequila, can't beat it.
I love him. But yeah, he's a rising star, I believe. I think more notable names that I probably would have gone with might have been Timothy Chalamet, Barry Cogan. Is that how you say it? Barry Cogan?
I I don't know, but also that's a null and that's a duplicate null.
What about, I don't know about country stars, but can Morgan Wallen be voted? Because I would choose him. I'm very obsessed with that guy.
That's a coin toss, to be honest, because I've seen a lot of comments where people are like, yeah, he's attractive, but he's not so sexy. Like, I know 20 guys that go to the Circle K before they hop on the road to go to their blue collar job that look exactly like that guy. It's
True.
literally just because he is a good voice and he can play guitar.
He's got a nice body too, but who would you have picked? John Krasinski or Morgan Wallen?
Oh, my fault, Morgan Wallen.
Exactly.
Yeah. John's got that longevity, but Morgan's got more of the new sauciness, I suppose. But once again, drama filled, girl, drama
Oh,
filled.
yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Some fun facts. Inventor of the Pringles can, Fred Bear, was actually buried in a Pringles can. I guess his family wanted to abide by his wishes, and his remains were put in a can, or at least most of them, and then the rest scattered everywhere. I guess this will bring up the question, what's your favorite Pringles flavor?
Oh, that is so tough. I love them all. Original is good, sour cream and onion. I really enjoy the pizza. Barbecue's good. I don't know. I really have a fancy for the dill pickle one. But I think I'm going to go with honey mustard.
Wow, you definitely have tried every flavor, I guess. I'm just gonna stick to the basic original salt and vinegar. I don't know. I'm a sucker for that flavor in general, so that's gonna be my selection.
Heard. The ranch is really banging too. So I mean, you genuinely can't go wrong. They even have the healthy ones too, like the one cut with sweet potato and the other one cut with I don't even remember. Those are pretty decent as well.
Dang, I didn't even know about those. I'm gonna have to try them out. Shake Shack will be served on Delta first class flights out of Boston. Any flight that's going 900 miles plus, that is. Thoughts on why Shake Shack? And honestly, are they the best burger?
Well, I don't recall having Shake Shack. I may have not. I've had a lot of burgers in my life from a lot of different spots. But no, I don't think anyone is as good as you know who. The Royal Roy Rogers, girl. They are the stronghold of my fast foodie heart. Nothing can compare. So I know that they're a little too small to actually be featured, but I don't know. Shake Shack? Would you say it's better than In and Out?
Well, I recently had In and Out when I was in Las Vegas, and I mean, I think that one's just hyped up a little too much. It's decent, I like it, but I don't think it's the best. I think maybe I would choose Shake Shack over it. They have more variety, especially with their shakes and chicken product, but I don't know. I couldn't pick one. Roy's obviously soft place in my heart for them. But we also got, I guess, Five Guys. Five Guys taste very similar to Shake Shack, in my opinion. But I think, yeah, maybe Shake Shack over them. So I don't know. It's not a bad selection to choose that and throw it on a domestic flight. I mean, you know how trash airplane food is in general, unless you're going like 19 hours to Singapore.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Yeah, I'm actually headed up to Logan International tomorrow. So too bad they ain't rolling this out because then I'm headed back. But I also don't know the mileage. Over 900 miles.
Well, plus I said it was first class, Brittany. You
Oh, my fault. Oh, yeah. Whoops. No, definitely not. Coach all the way, baby. Thank you.
In other burger chain news, McDonald's is bringing back the McRib December 3rd, as well as the Grimace Shake for 2 weeks. There's a list of other burger treats as well, but they don't look as appetizing to me, so I'm not really going to mention them.
Heard. Also, I don't know. Maybe they should clean up their whole double McChicken or whatever the hell that was going on with that. Everyone got sick off that joint. Like, all right, why don't you just fix what you already put out instead of worrying about rolling out new stuff? I mean, come on. Although I heard if you want to make a duplicate Grimace Shake at your home, all you have to do is use vanilla ice cream along with some frozen blueberries, strawberry jam, and I think whipped cream, and of course, milk.
Well, thanks for letting us know, Brett. I mean, all this food talk is getting me excited, and you know what's happening next week, girl. My favorite holiday, Thanksgiving. It's a time where families get together and, your uncles fight fist by fist over political news. But yeah, I enjoy a good turkey. I enjoy a good mashed potato. You got to have that sausage stuffing. I'm a fat kid at heart. I freaking love the food. So, a holiday that just surrounds itself with many dishes, it's got my vote.
100%. Now, technically, Halloween is my fave, but Thanksgiving, I mean, you can never argue with something that includes food as its opportunity to get friends and family together. I mean, there's just nothing bad about that. I mean, the way it all came about, that could be potentially viewed as bad. But the way we deal with it now, just eating our faces off, well, that's such a pleasurable experience.
Pleasurable indeed. At my Thanksgiving table, we do things a little East Coast Maryland style. We got oyster stuffing, the dry and the wet. And then also, I'm making a crab mac and cheese. So everybody is really super excited about that. It is a little pricey, but I love my family. So this is what I do.
Well, God bless you, Nick. I would love to be there. I'm actually going to be down here in North Carolina, so I won't be able to indulge in any of those delicious items you just mentioned, but I would still love them, and I can't wait to dig into what we have. Speaking of digging in, would you like to play Which Would You Rather?
I mean, do I have a choice? Yeah, of course. I want to play. I love playing with you, Brett.
Yeah, girl. All right, cool, cool. Which would you rather? Yeast rolls or cornbread?
Honestly, with cornbread, I only think it belongs as a paired side with chili. And since chili shouldn't be on any Thanksgiving table, I'm gonna have to go with those yeast rolls. I'm guessing those are just the fluffy ones, not the like condensed Bisquick kind, like the ones that are more potato roll-ish, just that fluff. I think I'll go with that. That seems like a soft side.
Yes, I'm gonna have to agree with you. That's my choice as well. I don't know. It's always been my family's choice. They usually use that, or like the Hawaiian sweet rolls. So yeah, something like that. I love cornbread, but agreed, it's more of a chili type of thing. So yeast rolls it is.
Yeast rolls it is.
Heck yeah. How about pumpkin pie or pecan pie?
Well, I do love pecans, but mostly when they're in ice cream. And come on, pumpkin pie. Yeah, that's the original staple. I'm sure they had that on the first Thanksgiving table. So I'm going to have to go with the pumpkin pie.
Heck yes, girly. Honestly, I've never agreed with you this much, but I'm gonna have to go with pumpkin pie as well. It is so good. Well, you know what? We can make it a little more difficult. Pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
I honestly don't think I've ever had sweet potato pie. I've had the sweet potato casserole. But yeah, so again, I'm gonna have to go back to that pumpkin pie.
Actually, here's where we deviate.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm gonna have to pick the sweet potato pie because it is very similar it's just got a little bit more heaviness to it. So I feel like that one's a little bit better. Very comparable, but just a few notches higher to me.
Okay, I can understand. And again, like I haven't had it, so I believe you. Like maybe if I did give it a chance, I might change my mind. But here's one, Brittany. Would you rather do the sweet potato casserole or mashed potatoes?
It's going to have to be mashed potatoes. I need the mashed potatoes and gravy with my turkey, with my ham, with my duck. I don't care what's on there, but it has to be the mashed potatoes, especially with that heavy cream, a whole bunch of butter and salt. Yes, please.
We agree on that, Brittany. I like to make myself a KFC bowl after the holiday with that turkey, corn, gravy, mashed potatoes. Nothing beats that. And honestly, I'm more of a salt licker than a sugar tooth. So I'm going to definitely stick with my mashed potatoes.
I agree. Now, how about this one's kind of tough because these are both really good and they both have elements of sort of healthy, but mainly not. How about macaroni and cheese or green bean casserole?
Well, I know I described my Maryland crab mac and cheese, and I mean, that was bomb last year. So I would revert to that. But since this is just the basic, even if it was handmade, I think, gosh, it's so simple, but yet so good. That green bean casserole, I'm obsessed with it. That used to be the side I made before I started making sweet potato casserole and crab mac and cheese. But, my cousin, she stole it and has been making it ever since. So it's easy to make and easily just so delicious.
Hell yes, I can get behind that. And honestly, this time I think I'm going to have to go with green bean casserole as well, only because I can have mac and cheese anytime I want. And in fact, I do. As much as I love it and I want it to be there, I love macaroni and cheese. I just still need that green bean casserole. You don't really get it any other time of year except for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Because once that new year hits, you don't really see it again. So until, fall of the next year. So I'm going to go with green bean casserole too.
What's your favorite dish altogether, though, Britt?
Oof. For Thanksgiving or just in general?
Obviously, we're sticking to the topic of Thanksgiving, girl.
Oh, my fault, girl. I was about to say pad thai or something. Shit. Prime rib with a nice, beautiful blue cheese crown, also some French fried onions, and then au jus to dip it in. And I also want the sour cream mixed with mayonnaise and the horseradish sauce too, just in freaking case. With a loaded baked potato. But no, when it comes to Thanksgiving food, oh, my fault. I will select, dang. I guess I'll just have to go with the straight up turkey. It's so good. Now the key is making sure that it is smothered in gravy, because even if you're good at cooking a bird, even deep frying that bad boy, it's always just a little bit more dry compared to chicken. So I feel like you gotta really saturate it, and then maybe slap some stuffing on top with there and the gravy, and that's money, honey. How about you?
I mean, you're talking about like if you had to salvage the bird because Meemaw cooked that thing too long in the oven. See, I take care of my bird. I like to call the bird I make a Puerto Rican turkey because I've learned it from a Puerto Rican man. But it consists of a lot of butter, like 4 full sticks, rosemary, limes, and garlic. And basically what you do is you baste the bird underneath the skin with the butter mixture. And then every hour you inject the bird. You got to take care of that bird and have that thermometer tell you the exact temp before you take it out. I'm telling you, it's the best thing you will ever taste. I know everyone says, oh, put it in a bag. It'll stay moist then. And actually one year my cousin's husband sous vide the bird and it was damn near close to my creation. It was delicious. So yes, make sure your birds are moist and take care of them.
Yeah, girl, I don't know. Even when you saturate it with butter, I mean, I'm talking, yeah, like you said, 4, 5, 6 sticks, the whole damn box. It just never tastes as juicy as chicken to me. It just doesn't. I think it's just so big. Maybe
You
you gotta
just never
hack that
had it. You've
thing.
never had my turkey. That's just the problem. So, and then obviously I didn't answer the question. So I guess like my side that I always love,
Oh, you said side. Oh, my fault. Well, if it's side, then stuffing, girl.
oh, right. Stuffing. I was going to say sausage stuffing. That oyster stuffing, man. Oh my goodness. So delicious. And the fact he can make it wet and dry, and really both of it's pretty wet. But I mean, yeah,
Or
gotta love them oysters. So delicious.
But before we close out, girl, I just want to give freaking honorable mention to deviled eggs, yo. I always want to show up and have some deviled eggs to nibble on while I'm waiting for the big feast because, chips and dip, crackers, cheese, it's all good, but nothing hits like a deviled egg. So that's also a must for me.
Yeah, I think that's a thing that gets skimped at Thanksgiving is the hors d'oeuvres. Everyone knows that they're going to eat a lot during that main course, but then like that bird takes forever. And then, my aunt, she's extra hungry and gets a little cranky. Like we need a little snack beforehand. So, okay, I'll accept a double egg, but to me, a double egg deserves to be at a 4th of July picnic. I don't know. That's just me though.
Now, girl, let it be everywhere. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, 4th of July, a random Tuesday. Let us have our deviled eggs. And shit, if you mess it up, make it into egg salad. I'm goody. Slap it on a Triscuit. I'm right there.
Gotta love it. Well, obviously, next week will be busy. You're going to Vermont this weekend. Then we got to get ready with prepping all the dishes for the actual day. We got Drinksgiving the day prior. Hopefully, everybody be safe. Don't drink and drive, Uber. Also, don't drink too much because then you're just going to spoil the next day. But yes, partake in all the festivities. And I hope that everybody has a great one. I said all that to say we're not going to be doing the podcast next week. So we'll catch you the following week.
That's right. See y'all then. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.